The deep blue expanses of our planet's oceans hold countless mysteries, wonders that continue to elude our complete understanding. Among the most enchanting and perplexing of these are the octopuses. These are creatures that seem almost alien in their design, belonging more to the realm of science fiction than to our own world. For centuries, they have fueled our imaginations, appearing in myths as monstrous krakens and in modern tales as symbols of profound, non-human intelligence. Their strange and wonderful nature invites us to look closer, to peer beneath the waves and try to comprehend a form of life that is so utterly different from our own, yet shares this same fragile world with us. Our fascination is not without reason. To observe an octopus is to witness a being that has followed a completely separate evolutionary path to intelligence. While we mammals developed our minds on land, within a rigid, bony framework, the octopus evolved its complex brain in the fluid, three-dimensional world of the sea, housed within a body of pure, flexible muscle. This divergence has resulted in a creature with abilities that can seem almost magical. It is an animal that can think with its arms, taste with its skin, and vanish into its surroundings in the blink of an eye. Their existence challenges our very definitions of what it means to be intelligent, to be aware, and to be alive. In exploring the world of the octopus, we are not just learning about a single, peculiar animal. We are, in a sense, holding up a mirror to ourselves. By studying their unique physiology, their startling strength, and their remarkable problem-solving skills, we gain a deeper appreciation for the sheer diversity of life on Earth. Each fact we uncover about these cephalopods reveals another branch on the great tree of life, one that has flourished in ways we are only just beginning to grasp. They are not monsters of the deep, but rather they are marvels of evolution, living proof of nature's boundless creativity and ingenuity. As we journey into their world, we will uncover the truth behind the legends. We will see how their boneless bodies grant them almost supernatural powers of escape, and how their skin becomes a canvas for instant communication. We will explore the depths of their minds, which are capable of learning, remembering, and even using tools to solve problems. From the smallest reef dweller to the colossal giant of the Pacific, the story of the octopus is a captivating narrative of survival, adaptation, and intelligence. It is a story that reminds us just how much we still have to learn about the incredible life that thrives, often unseen, in the vast oceans of our planet. The octopus body plan is a masterpiece of evolutionary engineering, radically different from any vertebrate. Perhaps the most astonishing feature is its circulatory system. An octopus possesses not one, but 3 hearts. 2 of these hearts work exclusively to pump blood through its 2 large gills, while the third, larger heart circulates blood to the rest of the body. This blood itself is also quite unusual. Instead of using iron-based hemoglobin to transport oxygen as we do, octopuses use a copper-based protein called hemocyanin. This is what gives their blood a distinct blue color, a system that is more efficient at transporting oxygen in the cold, low-oxygen environments of the deep sea. The nervous system of an octopus is equally remarkable and decentralized. While it does have a central brain located within its head, this is only part of the story. It possesses what one might call 9 brains. The central brain is supplemented by a large ganglion or cluster of nerve cells at the base of each of its 8 arms. In fact, a staggering 2/3 of an octopus's neurons are found not in its head, but distributed throughout its arms. This allows each arm to act with a significant degree of independence. An arm can touch, taste, and move on its own, solving small problems without direct input from the central brain. Yet all arms work in perfect fluid coordination when needed. Each of these 8 powerful limbs is a marvel of muscle and sensory perception. An octopus's body is composed almost entirely of muscle, much like a human tongue, giving it both incredible strength and dexterity. Adorning these arms are around 2,000 suckers arranged in double rows. These are not simple suction cups. They are complex organs that can be individually controlled. The suckers can grasp, rotate, and even taste the water, allowing the octopus to gather a huge amount of chemical information from its surroundings simply by touch. The fine ridges on each sucker provide an incredibly secure grip on any surface, whether smooth or rough. The only hard part of an octopus's entire body is its beak. Located at the center of its arms, where they all converge, this beak is made of keratin, the same tough material that makes up our fingernails and a bird's beak. It is sharp and powerful, capable of biting through the hard shells of crabs and clams, which are a staple of their diet. This single, small, hard structure is the sole limiting factor that determines the size of an opening an octopus can squeeze through. This unique combination of a soft, muscular body and a decentralized nervous system makes the octopus one of the most uniquely adapted predators in the marine world. When one thinks of strength, images of large mammals or powerful predators often come to mind. Yet, the octopus, with its soft and yielding body, possesses a power that is truly astonishing for its size. This is not the brute force of bone and leverage, but the pure contractile power of muscle. The strength of an octopus is pound for pound far greater than that of a human. Experiments have demonstrated this in dramatic fashion. A relatively small 2-pound-day octopus, for instance, was recorded pulling with over 33 pounds of force. This is more than 16 times its own body weight, a feat that would be utterly impossible for even the most elite human athlete. This incredible strength is not just for show, it is a vital tool for survival. In the wild, an octopus uses its powerful arms and suckers to pry open the shells of its prey. A determined octopus can easily pull apart a live clam, a task that most humans would find impossible to accomplish with their bare hands. Each of its approximately 2,000 suckers can be controlled independently, and together they create a formidable gripping force that is almost impossible to break. This allows the octopus to hold onto struggling prey, anchor itself against strong currents, or stubbornly resist any attempt to pull it from its hiding place. There are many tales from divers and fishermen that speak to this surprising power. Anecdotal reports, while sometimes exaggerated, often contain a kernel of truth about the animal's capabilities. Stories exist of octopuses pulling divers' masks off or clinging to equipment with a grip that is unnervingly difficult to release. In one particularly sobering account, a day octopus was reportedly responsible for drowning a snorkeler in just 6 feet of water, its powerful arms overwhelming the person. While such an event is exceptionally rare, it serves as a stark reminder that these are wild animals, equipped with formidable natural weapons for hunting and self-defense. The source of this strength lies in the unique structure of its arms, a muscular hydrostat. This means they operate without any skeletal support, using pressurized fluid and intricately woven muscle fibers to move and exert force. This is the same principle that allows an elephant's trunk or the human tongue to be so dexterous and strong. For the octopus, this design, multiplied by 8, creates a being that can both gracefully explore a delicate crevice and powerfully restrain a struggling crab. It is a perfect combination of finesse and force, making the octopus a highly successful and respected predator in its underwater domain. In the perpetual dance of predator and prey, the ability to remain unseen is a paramount advantage. In this arena, the octopus is an unrivaled grandmaster. It can change its appearance in an instant, melting into its surroundings with a speed and precision that borders on magical. This extraordinary talent for camouflage is not just about changing color, it is a complete transformation of both hue and texture. An octopus can shift from the smooth, mottled pattern of a sandy seabed to the rough, bumpy texture of a coral reef in less than a second. This allows it to become functionally invisible to both the creatures it hunts and the larger predators that hunt it. This remarkable ability is made possible by a complex system in its skin. The octopus has thousands of tiny pigment-filled sacs called chromatophores. Each of these sacs is surrounded by minuscule muscles, which are directly controlled by the octopus's brain. When these muscles contract, they stretch the chromatophore, revealing the color inside. When they relax, the sac shrinks, and the color disappears. By controlling these thousands of individual chromatophores, the octopus can create intricate dynamic patterns across its body. It can even display different patterns on different parts of its body simultaneously, creating a dazzling and confusing spectacle. Beyond color, the octopus can also alter the physical texture of its skin. It can create tiny projections called papillae, making its surface spiky and rough to mimic algae-covered rocks or coral. Then, just as quickly, it can smooth its skin out completely to blend in with sand or open water. This combination of color and texture control makes its camouflage incredibly effective. It's not simply a passive blend. It is an active, intelligent process of observing its environment and replicating it on its own body, a living canvas that constantly adapts to the world around it. This ability is not only used for hiding, it is also a sophisticated form of communication. An octopus can use flashes of color and shifting patterns to signal its mood, to warn off rivals, or to court a mate. The infamous blue-ringed octopus provides a dramatic example of this. Normally a drab, sandy color, when threatened, it will instantly flash a series of brilliant, iridescent blue rings across its body. This is not a bluff. It is a clear and deadly warning. The venom of this small octopus is 1,000 times more potent than cyanide, and a single animal carries enough to kill more than 24 humans. Its camouflage, therefore, is a language of survival, deception, and at times deadly intent. The octopus is the Houdini of the sea, a supreme escape artist whose abilities defy belief. This talent stems from its most defining physical characteristic, its almost complete lack of a skeleton. As we have seen, the only hard part of an octopus's body is its beak. This single, simple fact has profound implications for its mobility. It means that if an octopus can fit its small parrot-like beak through an opening, the rest of its soft, pliable body can be squeezed and contorted to follow. This allows it to slip through the tiniest of cracks and crevices, making capture or confinement next to impossible. Scientific experiments and countless observations have confirmed this extraordinary flexibility. In one controlled test, a day octopus named Olivia was observed as she was challenged with a narrow tube. Effortlessly, she poured her body through a pipe that was only 1 inch in diameter, her arms and head flowing like a liquid through the impossibly small space. To put this into perspective, a human contortionist attempting a proportionally similar feat, squeezing through an 8-inch tube, failed completely. The octopus's boneless form grants it a freedom of movement that is simply alien to us skeleton-bound creatures. This skill is not just a party trick, it is fundamental to the octopus's survival strategy. It allows them to access hiding spots that are completely unavailable to their predators or their prey. A small crack in a rock can become an impenetrable fortress. The lid of a jar, if not screwed on with immense tightness, presents no obstacle at all. There are numerous documented cases of octopuses in aquariums escaping their tanks at night, exploring the facility and sometimes even visiting other tanks to steal a meal before returning to their own enclosure by morning, leaving keepers utterly bewildered. This incredible flexibility also helps to explain some of the ancient myths of sea monsters. Legends of the Kraken entering ships to drag sailors to their doom may have been inspired by real encounters with large octopuses. While the scale was likely exaggerated, the concept of one of these creatures entering a vessel is not far-fetched. A giant Pacific octopus could quite feasibly squeeze its massive body through a ship's porthole or a small opening in the hull. The octopus's ability to escape and infiltrate is a direct result of its unique evolutionary path, sacrificing a protective shell for unparalleled flexibility and freedom. For a long time, high intelligence was considered the exclusive domain of vertebrates, particularly mammals and birds. The octopus, a solitary invertebrate with a short lifespan, shatters this perception completely. These creatures demonstrate a level of intelligence and cognitive ability that is startling and complex, proving that evolution can find different paths to creating a sophisticated mind. They are capable of learning, remembering, and solving novel problems in ways that continue to surprise researchers. Their intelligence is not just instinct, it is adaptive, flexible, and seemingly individualistic, with different octopuses displaying distinct personalities. One of the most compelling signs of their intelligence is their capacity for observational learning. This is a complex cognitive skill where an animal learns to perform a task simply by watching another do it. In a notable experiment, an octopus named Olivia was taught how to open a puzzle box to get a food reward. Another octopus, Owen, was placed in a separate tank where he could only watch Olivia's successful attempts. When it was Owen's turn, he solved the puzzle on his very first try, having clearly understood and memorized the solution just from observation. This ability is rare in the animal kingdom and points to a high level of cognitive function. Beyond learning by watching, octopuses also show excellent memory and an ability to recognize symbols. In another series of tests, Olivia the octopus was trained to associate a specific visual symbol, a cross, with a food reward. She quickly learned to choose the door marked with the cross to receive her treat, ignoring the door with a different symbol. Even when the positions of the symbols were switched, she consistently chose the correct one, demonstrating that she had not just memorized a location, but had truly learned the meaning of the symbol. This capacity for symbolic recognition is a cornerstone of higher intelligence. Furthermore, some octopuses have been observed using tools, a behavior once thought to be exclusive to a handful of species like primates and birds. In the wild, an Indonesian octopus has been filmed carrying coconut shells across the seabed, assembling them later to create a mobile, protective shelter. Other examples include using pieces of coral or old bottles to block the entrance to a den. In a New Zealand aquarium, an octopus was even taught how to operate a camera, learning to push the shutter button with one of its arms to take photographs of visitors. These behaviors show foresight, planning, and an ability to manipulate the environment for a specific purpose, the hallmarks of a truly intelligent mind. While many octopus species are small and elusive, one stands apart as a true giant of the cephalopod world. This is the giant Pacific octopus, the largest of all known octopus species. It inhabits the cold, nutrient-rich waters of the northern Pacific Ocean, from California to Japan. Reports of their size often verge on the legendary. One particularly massive specimen was said to have an arm span of 30 feet across and weighed nearly 600 pounds. While such giants are exceptionally rare, more commonly found individuals are still hugely impressive, often reaching an arm span of 15 feet and weighing around 100 pounds. Despite its enormous size, the giant Pacific octopus is a surprisingly swift and agile creature. When it needs to move quickly, it can expel a powerful jet of water from its siphon, propelling itself through the water at speeds of up to 25 miles per hour in short bursts. This jet propulsion allows it to escape predators like seals and sharks, or to ambush unsuspecting prey. For the most part, however, it prefers a more leisurely pace, using its powerful arms to crawl elegantly across the seafloor, exploring its territory for crabs, clams, and fish to feed on. The immense size and power of these creatures led to a strange and controversial chapter in human-octopus interactions. During the 1950s and 60s, particularly in the Puget Sound area of Washington, octopus wrestling became a popular spectator sport. At organized events, Teams of divers would descend into the water and compete to be the first to wrestle one of these giants to the surface. The contests were a test of strength and bravery, with divers pitting themselves against the powerful grip of the octopus's 8 arms and suckers. Thousands of spectators would gather to watch as the huge creatures were hauled ashore to be weighed. Thankfully, this practice has long since been discontinued as our understanding and appreciation of these intelligent animals have grown. The Octopus Wrestling Championships are now a curious footnote in history, a relic of a time when these magnificent animals were seen more as sea monsters to be conquered than as the intelligent and sensitive beings we now know them to be. Today, encountering a giant Pacific octopus in its natural habitat is considered a privilege, a chance to witness one of the ocean's most impressive and intelligent inhabitants up close, on its own terms. The life of an octopus is a poignant tale of brilliance condensed into a remarkably short span of time. Most species live for only a year or two, and even the massive giant Pacific octopus rarely survives beyond 5 years. This fleeting existence is characterized by rapid growth, solitary learning, and a final ultimate act of sacrifice. Unlike many intelligent animals that benefit from years of parental guidance, an octopus begins its life utterly alone. The young hatch from their eggs, with no mother to protect or teach them. They must rely entirely on their innate instincts and their own capacity to learn to navigate the dangerous ocean world from their very first day. The final chapter of an octopus's life is centered around reproduction. After mating, the male's life quickly comes to an end. The female, meanwhile, dedicates the remainder of her existence to her eggs. She will find a safe, secluded den and lay thousands of eggs, sometimes hanging them in long, delicate strands from the ceiling of her lair. For weeks or even months, she will guard them ferociously, constantly cleaning them with her arms and gently blowing currents of fresh, oxygenated water over them with her siphon. During this entire period, she does not leave the den, and she does not eat. This maternal devotion is all-consuming. The female octopus slowly wastes away, her body catabolizing its own muscle tissue for energy to sustain her vigil. She pours every last ounce of her life force into ensuring the survival of the next generation, a generation she will never meet. Often, she dies of starvation just before or shortly after her eggs begin to hatch. The tiny, perfectly formed baby octopuses emerge into the water column alone, their mother's sacrifice giving them their one chance at life. This tragic cycle ensures the continuation of the species, but means that no octopus ever benefits from the wisdom of its parents. This brief life cycle makes their intelligence all the more extraordinary. They evolved from ancient shelled cephalopods over 100 million years ago, trading the safety of a hard, external shell for the advantages of speed, flexibility, and a large brain. The octopus genome, which has been fully sequenced, is surprisingly complex, comparable in size to the human genome, with a vast number of protein-coding genes. It seems evolution has packed an incredible amount of biological and cognitive complexity into a life that burns brightly but all too briefly, a fleeting spark of genius in the deep. The relationship between humans and octopuses has long been a mixture of fear, myth, and deep curiosity. For centuries, they were the stuff of nightmares, monstrous leviathans lurking in the abyss. Yet, as we have spent more time in their world, our perception has shifted dramatically. Today, encounters between humans and octopuses are more often characterized by mutual curiosity than by conflict. Divers and marine biologists who spend their lives underwater often report experiences that suggest a profound awareness on the part of the octopus. It is a common feeling to be watched, to be assessed by a non-human intelligence. Phil Neuton, a pioneer of deep-sea diving who was once a champion octopus wrestler in his youth, has spoken about this transformation in perspective. He notes that despite hearing countless tales of octopuses being aggressive or dangerous to divers, In his thousands of hours underwater, he has never personally had a negative encounter. His more recent dives involve peaceful interactions where curious octopuses have approached him, gently exploring his gear and even his hands with their sensitive arms. It is a far cry from the adversarial contests of the past, reflecting a move towards respect and coexistence. Scientists who work with octopuses in laboratories and aquariums often develop strong bonds with their subjects. Marine biologist Brett Gruss has noted that it is common for divers to feel that an octopus is observing them just as intently as they are observing it. These animals appear to recognize individual humans, sometimes showing a clear preference for certain keepers and a dislike for others. They will approach the glass of their tank to interact with a familiar person, their colors shifting in patterns that seem to express excitement or interest. This responsive behavior challenges the notion of them as simple, unfeeling creatures. These modern encounters help to demystify the octopus, replacing the image of a monster with that of a sensitive and intelligent being. They remind us that we are not the only thinking creatures on this planet and that intelligence can manifest in forms we are only just beginning to understand. From the myths of the kraken to the gentle touch of a curious arm on a diver's glove, our journey with the octopus has been one of discovery. In understanding them, we not only learn about a fascinating animal, but we also learn more about the nature of life itself and our place within its magnificent, sprawling diversity.